Welcome back. Let's get right into verse 2. As you may have learned in the documentary, when I was born, my spinal cord had not closed all the way. This birth defect has caused many hardships for me in life, and I was also born with hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. I was also born with club feet. I had surgeries at birth to correct or help regulate all three, but there were and still are obstacles I have to deal with because of all three. People born with spina bifida have no bladder or bowel control, and this has been one of the hardest factors of living with spina bifida for me. I truly despise having spina bifida. The hard times came when I would have an accident and would have to change my clothes and being questioned on why I changed my clothes. And at times giving an explanation was embarrassing. So sometimes I did lie, but one of the most difficult times came in the summer of 1995 when I got really sick and no one knew what was happening with me. And as an 8-year-old, it was horrible because almost my whole summer break from school was taken over by the effects I was dealing with because of my birth defect. I was throwing up, I suffered from the most grueling headaches, and had multiple seizures. In verse 2, the disciples asked, why was this man born blind? I asked God, as well as my mother asked God, why was I born with spina bifida? Like the disciples asked, who sinned? Or in other words, who did something wrong that this man was born blind? My mother asked a similar question of herself. What did she do to have had a child born with a birth defect? Like the blind man couldn't see physically, I couldn't see spiritually or understand the reason why when God created me, He allowed me to be born with spina bifida. I'm pretty sure many of you out there have had difficulties and hardships in life and wondered why these things were happening to you. What could you have done to go through this misfortune, this mishap? I got my answer, and in the next video I will tell you that answer, and hopefully you will accept that answer as the same for you. In the meantime, check out the next part of my documentary where I sit down with my parents and have a conversation with them, being first-time parents, and not only being first-time parents, but having a child, their first child, born with a birth defect. God bless.